local, our regional and our international viewers, wherever you may be, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Buduseng Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb, get your pen, get your paper, get your phone. You could take notes and important telephone numbers that will be very helpful for you and your loved ones, all right? Directing this morning and in Master Control, Hisham Costello. On behalf of our team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed day today. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, the 4th of January, 2024. And, if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. The circle of life is about birth and then death. So it's inevitable that one day we are going to lose our loved ones. Whether we like it or not, they are going to go to the great beyond. So we send condolences and, of course, appreciation to this, the family of Mr. Nizam Deem Zamo Muhammad. Now, he passed away 4 years ago on this day, and he was from Perseverance Village in Hoover. Today marks 4 years since he returned to Allah. May he continue to rest in peace, dear big brother. It's coming from all of his siblings, Shaira, Kamal, Zanora, Dr. Tony Muhammad, Ozzy and Azad, his beautiful daughters Ria, Marcy, Rhoda. And it's coming from all family and friends and all of us here at ZMB Communications. We remember this gentleman who certainly made an impact in many lives. He was a great brother. As said, Dr. Muhammad spoke very highly about his mother. As a matter of fact, I think this was on a visit here and he was sharing some time at the beach. They went to a beach house and he was really a wonderful brother. So may he continue to rest in peace, coming from family and friends of the Muhammads. And so we remember Mr. Nizam Deem Zamo Muhammad on this day as he went to the great beyond 4 years ago. Thank you so much, Hisham. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of India in Style. And I want to remind you, a dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination and hard work. I love this. Thank you, Hisham, because it's true. We all have many dreams and we want to do so many things. But do we sit idly by and have that dream and say, oh gosh, one day I will have this and one day I'll do this and blah, blah, blah? No. What happens to allow that dream to take birth or to actually materialize? It takes sweat, determination and hard work. Nothing comes easy, right? You have to work for it in order to appreciate it and have great respect for that. So I just want to remind you that if you have that dream, and it's okay to have a dream, you should have a dream. It takes some planning, like sweat, determination and hard work. You've got to continue with that, all right? There you go. Sorry about that. And that came to us, thank you, Hisham, that came to us with the kind compliments of India in Style Expo. This is at the Mid-Center Mall in Chagonas. They're opening on the 6th of January 2024. That's on Saturday. So check them out, India in Style Expo, Mid-Center Mall in Chagonas. Safe and secure parking and all of their great deals. Also their food court, which is a big part of what they do as well. So check them out, all right? Thank you so much, Hisham. Let me say good morning and a very warm welcome and a happy new year to this absolutely gorgeous lady. She's beauty and brains, attorney at law, and she's very much part of this show as well. She wears many, many, many hats. She's responsible for, you look at her, but she is really a dynamic person. I often wonder, where does she have the time or how does she do it? But you see, with hard work and determination and her putting her energy and effort, no wonder why everything that she touches blossoms and turns to gold. Sajina Kadir, attorney at law.
Thank you, Zelisa, for that warm welcome. Happy New Year to you and everyone locked on and viewing. Happy New Year as well. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always great having you. And today we're going to talk about wills and probate.
Yes.
And I think that is a topic that will never die.
It is so needed, right?
So
because
important.
as you live, you acquire assets. You put your time and money into property or various different assets, and you question what's going to happen to these assets upon my demise or upon my passing.
Especially when you work hard for it.
That's it.
And you've built it into
your quote
something.
Is perfect today.
It's perfect today.
It blends in nicely. You work hard, you
succeed.
And
you achieve.
Yes.
What is really, and then do you want to see it just die?
Exactly.
You do, or do you want to see it continue to grow? And that's very important.
So,
and I learned something from you earlier, Clock. I mean, when we first started the program, you were with me for from the inception of conversations. And I'll tell you something that I learned is that you do not have, a lot of people think you do that in your ripe old age when you're older in terms of a will or putting things in place. But that's far from the truth, and that's something I learned from you.
Yes.
That's something that you need to do as soon as possible.
Yes, I remember sharing with you and the viewers during my first COVID, I actually did my will. Reason being is, you're correct, you don't have to be ageable to do a will, because you work for certain things and you want to make sure it goes to, who you desire upon your passing. And COVID was scary, as Zelisa, my first COVID. So I mean, I put things in place for me, and it wasn't being hasty or worrying, it was being smart and planning in the event. And now that's settled for me.
Listen, COVID took in this country, I'm just talking about Trinidad and Tobago, over 4,000 lives. Yeah. 4,000 lives were lost because of COVID.
Yes, and
nobody's prepared for that.
Yes, and it came and it just affected so many people when they lost persons, people who suffered, who still have long haul COVID issues, so
exactly.
I mean, I advise anybody watching this program, it's always good to err an abundance of caution and make that will, I want persons to understand what a will is, right? So a will is a legal document that expresses a person's wishes or intent of what is to take place with their estate or their assets upon their passing. So even if a will is prepared and it's valid, and I'll explain what valid is in a bit, it only takes effect upon a person's demise. And a lot of people, like for example, a parent might leave a property in a will to a child, and a child walks around saying, well, I own the property because I have a will. You don't own it until it takes effect when the person passes away. So a will and a deed is two different things, because many times people will call the office and say they have a deed, but when you watch it, it's really a will. So there are steps to take even after when a person passes away to probate that will, right? But I think it's important for people to understand what a will is about and how it should be made. Should we explain that?
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do today. So remember, call your friends, call your family members, share the information, share it on Facebook and YouTube, because it's really good information, and have your pen and paper ready so you could take notes.
Yes, I always advise people to ensure that someone with a legal background prepares a will for them. And because even though you might be able to conduct a transaction or draft a document, you need that legal mind to guide, because you don't want a clause in the will to be defective and create problems in the future to who is to benefit from that will, right? So a will usually has certain terms, and I'll go through them one by one. A will is made by somebody who is labeled a testator,
right,
or a testatrix. So if male, if it's a testator, testatrix if it's female, right? So a will contains the last will and the last desire of a person, and that person is the testator. When that testator makes a will, he must appoint a person who he trusts and believes will carry out the wishes of his will and do the needful, and that person is called the executor or executrix.
Right.
That person is tasked with the responsibility of going to an attorney, carrying the original document, and ensuring that the will is commonly called probated then. What that means in simple terms is processed. Start the process so as to regularize or transfer legal ownership from the person who passed away to the person who are named as the beneficiaries in that will. So we have the testator making the will. The executor is the one responsible to process this will to satisfy the wishes of the person who has passed away. And then there are the beneficiaries. That speaks for itself. The person's benefiting from the estate of the person who passed away then, right? And then once you know who the executor is, you need their address to put it clearly in the will. Once you know who the beneficiaries are, you need their address as well. a will must be signed by 2 witnesses. If it's not done, if it's not executed, you call it due execution of a will, where the testator signs the will and the witnesses sign the will, but they all must sign in front of each other and in the presence of the person who is signing that will. So everybody must be there.
Let me intervene here.
Yes.
So you're saying that I could decide right now, I want to do a will.
Yes.
I could write down what I would like to be done with my things,
Yes.
my property, whatever it is, whatever belongs to the individual.
Yes.
And I could ask Hisham and Renata to be the witness.
Yes. Now the ticklish.
I'm just asking.
Yes, you are.
Or if
So
you're
it's
in your
over.
house, could I then say, okay, because I need for our viewers to understand exactly who could be the witness.
That's correct. That's a very important question.
So let's just say, right, so I have 2 workers, Renata, Hisham, that I could call and say, okay, here's my will, please sign
Yes.
it. That is
Right.
possible?
So the witnesses must be over the age of 18.
Right.
And we always advise persons that the witnesses shouldn't necessarily be the beneficiaries, because you don't want anybody in the future who contesting that will to say, well, they're getting it and they witness the will. So it must always be I always advise people, let it be somebody over the age of 18, independent to the beneficiaries named in the will.
Right.
So for example, if Renata and Hisham are beneficiaries to the will, I suggest 2 independent persons.
Right. So, which brings me to this question to ensure what you're saying. Father, mother, children, 4 children, I'm
Yes.
just saying. Father decides or mother decide I want to write a will.
Yes.
Obviously, they would want to give it to their children, grandchildren. We are not suggesting that any one of the children or grandchildren should be witness. Call a neighbor, call a brother,
Yes.
call a sister,
Yes.
who is not going to get anything from the will. I just
what-
want to clarity
yes,
there.
that's correct.
Good.
And while we were on the topic of witnesses, I had a conversation with my father this morning, and it was really important, a point that it came in my mind when we were talking here, that he always says, you could be in the line of sight of the parties signing the will. So you have the testator signing the will, and then you have the beneficiaries witnessing, right? But you could be in the line of sight, but if you are not present and watching everybody sign, it is not a duly executed will. So everybody must sign. So Hisham and Renata must be here with, for example, you, and everybody must be signing. So if Renata looks away like this, she might be in the line of sight, but is she present? So all must see that the signatures are being signed in the presence of each other to ensure that this will is considered valid.
So now that we're in the era of, social media and things like that, before we wouldn't think of perhaps take a picture and have it. I'm just saying.
Right.
Or a little video. Is that possible?
I think that's a brilliant idea. I like to err on the side of paranoid. Just because you never, Zelisa, you never see any problem now. You see the problem 8 years into the future with the same will that everybody was smiling about, or everything passed over quickly, nicely, smoothly. I always see problems coming up. So to me, I don't see any problem. I mean, people might think it's a little strange, but I don't see a problem.
I want to endorse what you're saying 110% right now, because
That's
you're
your real
correct.
proof.
At the moment, things are fine, but you never see or know what can happen down the road in legal things. It's important to don't trust people.
Zelisa, I want to add, we live in a world where we see such strange things come up legally. Even if you have a video
Tell
of
me about it.
I wouldn't be surprised if a video is shown, like it's next 7, okay, so we make a will now, in 7 years there's a problem, and you say, oh, problem, look, here's my video of all of us doing it. You're saying we didn't do it, but look, here's the video. Somebody might say, oh, we edited the video, or there's a problem with the video, and start to object to the video on certain grounds. I mean, this legal world is really, it could be very challenging.
Very
so
much
to
so.
me, if you could have further evidence that it was actually executed properly, I welcome that.
With that, let's welcome we're going to go to our ads, and of course, let's go to these messages, very important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with learned attorney at law Sajina Kadir. We're talking about wills and probate today. If you may have any questions or concerns, and I know you do, and this is your opportunity when we return to call in. Just remember to take the volume down on your television when you're calling in, or you could send me a WhatsApp message to 3847142 when we return 3847142. When we return, let's go to these important messages. Thank you so much for choosing us.
After huge success in Mokoya, La Romaine and South Park Mall, for the first time ever, Indian Style Expo will be at the air-conditioned Dome at Mid-Center Mall from January 6. Over 60 merchants. Get all that you need: garments, furniture, handicraft, footwear, jewelry and so much more. For the first time ever in Trinidad, be sure to check out our $20 food court. Yes, you heard right, but that's not all. When you spend over $200, you also get a free meal. Bring your kids to the arcade while you shop. The India in Style Expo at the air-conditioned Dome, Mid-Center Mall, starting on January 6th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, including weekends and holidays.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Hoover Car Park, Hoover, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Charan's Bookstore. For all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trincity Mall, Trincity. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charan's Bookstore.
Are you looking for effective and affordable advertising? Look no further. We have what you need. Advertise with us here at Conversations with Zelisa. Don't delay. Call us to advertise on Conversations with Zelisa. We have a range of advertising packages guaranteed to target the audience you need at the most affordable prices. Visit us at our office, Friends Plaza, San Juan, or call or WhatsApp to 926470. That's 2926470.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located Lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I'm in conversation with Sajina Kadir, attorney at law, and of course, today we're talking about wills and probate, and of course, she's here to answer those unanswered questions, any concerns you may have. You're free to call us at 3847142. Just please take the volume down on your television, speak into the phone. Do not listen to the television, there's a feedback, so when you're calling, just take the volume down first, speak, and she will respond to you. Ask her any questions you may have regarding wills and probate. or you could send me your WhatsApp messages and I will read it to her and she will respond accordingly. I also want to say good morning to a lady who came and she collected a hamper this morning, and she was just, she sent a message to say thank you. I just want to say thanks very, very, very much for the hamper, and may God continue to bless you and your staff. Well, you're most welcome. I'm happy to know that we could make a difference. All right, so God bless you. Happy New Year, and thanks for your kind words as well. And it was nice meeting you. Okay, good. Sorry, there we go.
So I want to explain to members of the public locked on that, you know, if you go and you make a will today and for some reason your desires change, your will, it doesn't mean you cannot make another will. You could actually make a will the next day, because every will starts off at the top. This is my last will and testament, and hereby revokes all former wills. So you could change your will. You don't need to be stuck by the will that you make in 2020.
Right, you could decide, because then things could change.
Exactly.
You don't know
your desire for different beneficiaries.
Yeah, Hisham, could you direct please and do your job? Right. So sorry about that. Yeah. So the thing is, you're correct. Things could change. Relationships could change.
Yeah.
You may see things that you don't like, or you could add or subtract. So it's your choice. What if you want to change that. Let's go to this question.
Sure.
Good morning to you, Zelisa, and your guest questions. To avoid exorbitant legal fees, if you have to prepare and probate a will, what other options are there? Also, when a property is left, the person sometimes do not have the finances. I believe that the person have to pay stamp duty, etc., which they cannot afford. Right. Thanks. Could you?
So the first question is such a brilliant one, because it's such a prevalent concern. With regard to the costs, would you like to take it?
No, go right ahead first. I don't want to break.
With regard to the costs of an application to probate a will and the legal fees behind it, we always advise, let's just say a parent comes in and they're worried about the cost of their child to probate that will in the future should they pass away. We sometimes suggest, while you are alive, you can do a deed of gift for that property. So you maintain your life interest so nobody puts you out. And I say that very, very strongly, because in a parent given a goodwill, we don't want anybody to put them out. So if you want to avoid the cost of the child in the future with regard to probating a will, then you should really do a deed of gift, maintain life interest, and then put who you would like the remainder man of the interest in the property to go to. So the only other option, if you don't do that while you're alive, is they will have to organize their finances to have an attorney do the needful.
Good. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Zelisa. This is Pamela again. I started seeing this lady on the forum TV. I always watch her, but I want to know, when you get a deed of gift, and the deed of gift is all your children's name and yourself, what become of that with a will?
Right.
How could you do? I don't know if I can give you the correct question.
Okay, sure. So
but I want to know, if a deed of gift I get, it was my parent, it was all of my man. It had also family dispute and things change, and now we get a deed of gift. When I do get a deed of gift, I had to put all my children's names together.
Right. Okay.
Right? But I don't know if you could do a will with that now.
Okay. So firstly, I'll start by saying an attorney who practices properly must read the deed in its entirety to see how it's drafted to give proper advice. But on the surface, I can say to you, based on what you indicated, if the deed of gift exists and you and your children are named, the question is, were you named as having life interest and then the children get it upon your passing, or were you all named as joint tenants? And this is important, because if you all are all named as joint tenants, you cannot make a will if a joint tenants arrangement exists in a legal document. Joint tenants mean if 4 persons owns it and one passes away, upon the principle of rights of survivorship, it automatically belongs to the other 3 upon their passing, upon that person's passing. So you can't make a will, but you could do a deed of severance to sever your tenancy, so that whosoever you want to own it will own it in the future. So with regard to what the caller said there, it's very important for an attorney to read the document. She's very fair to say, I really don't know. And that's where the attorney comes in to read the document to see how it is being held. It could be held as she maintaining her life interest and the children having equal shares, or it could be as joint tenants. And it really makes a huge difference to the advice if a will is necessary.
Okay?
Well, the property is on my name. Excuse me.
Yes.
Property is on my name. You hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
The property is on my name. I live in Mute. I have the right to my part. Okay?
Right.
But my children, my 5 children name, and one of my grandson name is on it.
Right. So you can't say legally is on your name and so by so else on it. We have to know how it is being held by you and how it is being held by the others. So it's important for an attorney caller to read
name
it.
is on the
Right. So everyone's name is on it, but there's a clause that says as fee simple owners, as joint tenants owners, as life interest. So you really need to not rush it and have an attorney read that document properly to give you the benefit of best advice caller. Just for the purpose of clarity in the explanation, because I understand who owns it, but I'm not understanding how it is owned, and that's included in probably the 4th paragraph of the deed. So it's important for an attorney to peruse it and read it.
All right? Okay?
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Okay. So, sorry about that. I didn't realize you were going to another question. I humbly apologize. You could call back. And 3847142. Let's be mindful that we want to take as many calls as possible, all right? Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Zelisa. Happy New Year to you and yours again.
To you as well. All right, first of all, I need you to take the volume down on your television. Hello?
Hello, good morning and Happy New Year again.
Yes,
Happy New Year to the panel.
Happy New Year. What's your question, please?
My father got a deed of gift of land from his mother. He has passed away, but he never did anything with it. What is going to happen to that land now?
I'm so sorry. Can the caller
Could you
repeat it?
please repeat your question?
My father had got a deed of gift from his mom
Right.
for a piece of land.
Right.
He passed away and he did nothing with it. What happens to that land now?
So he had no will, nothing?
Nothing, no.
Okay.
Right. So he got a deed of gift, and the deed of gift is in his sole name, correct?
It still is in his name, yes.
Right. And he passed away, yes?
Yes.
Right. So the question is, so it belonged to him legally at the time of his demise. So if he left a will, his will need to be probated. So who he desires in his will to be the beneficiaries of that property will get it. But if he didn't leave a will, a principle under letters of administration would apply, which means half the interest goes to his surviving spouse and the remaining half to the children in equal shares. So what happens to the property heavily depends on whether he has left a will or not.
He did not leave a will, and his wife has passed away 4 years now.
Right. So therefore the children will be the next of kin caller. So the children have the responsibility of applying for letters of administration, which we will get into another day, I believe, as we continue along the year. But letters of administration is a process that you must complete. It's not a letter like the name misconstrues. Is an application that takes a little time, where one of the children will apply to the probate section as the next of kin on behalf of everybody for the interest to be shared equally amongst everybody. And when the letters of administration is granted, then the children will have to do something called a deed of assent to ascend it from his name, as stated in the deed of gift caller, to the name of to all the names of the children in equal shares.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Welcome. You're welcome, darling. All the best. Have a great day. 3847. Okay, let's go to some questions. Hi, good morning, Zelisa. If my father died, left the property, no will was made out, my brother and his wife took it upon themselves to make a deed in their names, claiming they are entitled to it. What is the position? What is the position of the siblings or sibling or siblings?
Okay, the lawyer and me really acting up with that question.
I know.
What I could say though in the absence of how, and I want to really explain to callers, these are such voluminous topics to discuss via one mere phone call. So please be mindful that the advice is limited and restricted in the spirit of peaceful relations, to just give them a little peace of mind. I'm just explaining, right? So therefore, to that call, I can say, if no will has been left, the next of kin will be the surviving spouse and the children. If there's no surviving spouse and only children exist, one sibling can't come and play boss over the other. So therefore, if a deed has been made, I strongly advise they see an attorney since yesterday to apply to expunge that deed from the system and have the regular course of letters of administration so that all equally benefit proceed. But I mean, that person really needs to speak to an attorney, seriously.
As soon as possible. Now, I would be happy to share her number. Just request it and I'll forward her office number to any one of you who would like to have further discussions with her. Simply send a WhatsApp requesting it and I will get you her office number. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. I continue to read your messages, or you can call in and speak to her one-on-one. Let's go to these messages.
After huge success in Mokoya, Laramine and South Park Mall, for the first time ever, Indian Style Expo will be at the air-conditioned Dome at Mid-Center Mall from January 6th. Over 60 merchants. Get all that you need: garments, furniture, handicraft, footwear, jewelry and so much more. For the first time ever in Trinidad, be sure to check out our $20 food court. Yes, you heard right, but that's not all. When you spend over $200, you also get a free meal. Bring your kids to the arcade while you shop. The Indian Style Expo at the air-conditioned Dome, Mid-Center Mall, starting on January 6th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, including weekends and holidays.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Are you looking for effective and affordable advertising? Look no further. We have what you need. Advertise with us here at Conversations with Zelisa. Don't delay. Call us to advertise on Conversations with Zelisa. We have a range of advertising packages guaranteed to target the audience you need at the most affordable prices. Visit us at our office, Friends Plaza, San Juan, or call or WhatsApp 292-6470. That's 292-6470. Super Quality Supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagones, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower, and answer those unanswered questions. I'm in conversation with learned attorney at law Sajina Kadir, and today she's talking to us about wills and probate. So I'm going to go straight to some of the questions. Sure. Good morning, Zelisa. Happy New Year to you and your staff. I'm requesting the lawyer. Okay, good. Okay, I'll send that off after. Oh, a lot of people asking for the number, but I want to go to the questions. Good morning. A lot of people asking for your number, so I'll have to send that after the show. So let me, wow. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. What's your question, please, darling?
Yes, what happened? My mom made a will, right? And that will, the executors is my two brothers, and they don't live in Trinidad. But the witnesses of the will is two people that work in the lawyer's office. Is that authentic?
Okay. So it is fine for either the lawyer or the lawyer's clerk or anybody once they're over the age of 18, and as we advised before, if you were tuned on, once they're not named as a beneficiary, it's I mean, there's no issue or nothing untoward about that part with the witnesses. With regard to any concern that the executors are abroad, an attorney could prepare the documents and email it. Long ago, we used to have to FedEx the documents and stuff. You could email it and print it across there and have it signed in front of a notary public. So the executors living abroad is not really any plausible reason for any delay in doing the needful with the will. But there's nothing wrong with a will if the lawyer and the staff is named as the witnesses in the will.
Okay? Did you get, okay, let's go to this question. I would like to know how much time it takes for a probate to take place. I have been in waiting for almost 3 years for this.
So the longest time I have had at my office is 4 years, but there are reasons that may occur, because sometimes if you file an application for probate, there may be such queries. Firstly, the system is not, when you file, it's not like a purchasing a loaf of bread, plain talk. You go and get it beating one time.
Right, it takes time.
Right, it takes time. I always tell people, you get a case number. Once the attorney's office files it off, they could check every day if they want. Just don't keep calling the office, because if there's no update to give, we can't give one.
Okay.
So that delay could be very frustrating. I've had one that came back in 6 months. So it really depends on if there are queries. I've seen people come to my office, Zelisa, and say that they want to switch attorneys because it's taken too long there. But I strongly advise, unless you really feel that the attorney is doing absolutely nothing, these things do take time.
Okay.
And take the case number and check it for yourself if you're in doubt. But don't be too hasty to ball is the lawyer's fault, because once it's filed off, it's the system, and you're subject to the system. We can't jump over the counter and do it, otherwise I would have.
And the beauty is you could check on it yourself.
Exactly.
Morning. My mother is senile, and my sister took her and made her a power of attorney and is taking advantage of my mother. Since she has that power of attorney and restraining me from fixing the roof, which is leaking badly, what action can I take? I was born in that house, living in the house more than 40 years.
Right. So this is very sad, you know, we're human before we are an attorney, so I'm sorry that this person is going through this, because tomorrow is not promised and they should act fast. So therefore, an application to set aside that power of attorney needs to be made immediately, so that you have to prove, he who alleges must prove. So you must prove that, so you must have medical evidence that your mother was not of sound mind at the time she executed that power of attorney and applied to the court to set aside the power of attorney. And really and truly, you didn't ask, but I feel the need to say, if you're, because of that power of attorney, somebody is preventing you from seeing your mother, like I said, tomorrow is not promised. You need to apply to the domestic violence, under the protection order rights in Trinidad, because your mother will be considered a vulnerable citizen, and the care for her is necessary. Care also involves knowing all the children not being prevented and stuff. So you really need to speak to an attorney about that aspect of things. Fixing the roof is a civil point of law, and the other aspect needs to be addressed as well.
It's quite sensitive.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Yes, morning, you're live. What's
Hello.
your Hello. What's
Hi.
your Hi, what's
Good
your
morning. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well, darling. What's your question, please?
Okay, so my question is...
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, can you repeat your question?
Can you...
The thing is, you're calling, I want you to understand you're calling WhatsApp. So when a call comes in, it's going to cut the call, or we wouldn't be able to hear what you're saying. So try, I know she's probably, okay. Hello, welcome again.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, sorry about that. Could you please repeat your question?
Okay.
Thank you.
So with a deed of gift, do you have to probate it just the same as if the person made a will?
So a deed of gift is a registered document at the Ministry of Legal Affairs. So you have to do absolutely nothing with a deed of gift. Once it's duly executed, everybody is named how it's supposed to be. Everybody signs, and attorney's office is supposed to register it. And once it's registered, it is the legal instrument or the legal document that exists. So there's nothing to probate or do anything after. The only thing you have to do after that is if the desires from that deed of gift changes, then you may need to do a different legal document depending on what the desire is. But only wills are probated, caller. Deeds are registered and exist.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day. All the best to you. There we go. 3847142. Questions, concerns, comments, and or you can send your WhatsApp messages and she will, wow, okay.
I want to say that a will could leave any asset somebody owns, cars, monies in bank, cash that you have at home, you know, and if you don't know what you have, there's a last clause in a will that I learned that is so important called a residuary clause. It says anything else that I own or have that not accounted for in this will is to go to whoever.
Right.
It's important for a will to have a residuary clause. My father always says, if you win the lotto on the day you pass away, you can't go and change your will, right? So it accounts for what happens.
Great point. Now, her father is also an attorney, am I correct?
He's a legal advisor.
Okay, to Mr. Edward, he says, just wanted to say thank you and your guests for answering my concerns. Great informative program. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, sir. Blessings to you and your family as well. And we are happy that we could empower.
Yes.
That we could help you because knowledge is power. Now you know better. Okay, so this is regards to the person who asked about the 3 years. And she said she did inquire. I did check and they said it went for review. How long this takes and send this message for 3 years in waiting. Yeah, this is the same lady.
With regard to review, they take the document and they put it before either the registrar or whoever clerk is assigned it. And imagine so many deaths, so many applications. It takes long. I used to be one of the attorneys who would want to fight the system, and then I realized I only increased my blood pressure doing that, and I just don't bother because
you
there is
understand.
nothing that could be done, and I wish the system could improve.
Great. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. What's your question? Morning. What's your question,
I would like
please?
to ask the attorney to explain to me what is adverse possession of title to land.
Okay, I would like to ask you to take the volume down on your TV.
Okay, so the topic today is wills and probate, but just because you sound so pleasant, I'm going to quickly summarize. Adverse possession is where no legal ownership exists and you have been living on the parcel of land adverse or against the real owner being aware and knowing, and you develop rights, which is what we call equitable rights, which is principles of fairness rights, that after, if it's private lands, you have certain time frame to pass before you could acquire the rights to the property. So for another day, we could always expand on that, but for today, you must be on the parcel of land adverse to the actual owner knowing about it, not paying rent and that kind of thing.
Okay, quickly. Good morning, Zelisa, an attorney. Can you explain what is the difference between a deed of gift and a deed of transfer? Which is easier to do if both parents are alive and of sound mind?
Right. So a deed of gift is done out of natural love and affection. So no money passes between the parties that is doing it, the transaction. And With regard to a deed of transfer, I think they're trying to say deed of conveyance, which is where monies are passing. But either way, whatever type of deed of severance, deed of assent, deed of gift, deed of anything, it is a process. So after you instruct your attorney to prepare the particular document, then it has to be sent to Ministry of Finance for stamp duty assessment. Then it has to be sent to Ministry of Legal Affairs for registration of the deed. And then it takes a while before a certified copy could be obtained. So the length of time, it's really the same system you're dealing with. So once the attorney does the needful and it's registered, it's the weight on it. So the system is what the time depends on. So an attorney telling you it's going to take 3 months will not be a correct reflection of the facts, because we don't know if the system is going to work, if legal affairs is going to close for 2 days, you know. It really depends on, once the work is done, the system that exists.
Okay. We've got to take a quick break. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with learned attorney Sajina Kadir, answering those questions and concerns when it comes to your wills and probate. Let's go to these messages.
After huge success in Mokoya, Laramine and South Park Mall, for the first time ever, Indian Style Expo will be at the air-conditioned Dome at Mid-Center Mall from January 6th. Over 60 merchants. Get all that you need: garments, furniture, handicraft, footwear, jewelry and so much more. For the first time ever in Trinidad, be sure to check out our $20 food court. Yes, you heard right, but that's not all. When you spend over $200, you also get a free meal. Bring your kids to the arcade while you shop. The Indian Style Expo at the air-conditioned Dome, Mid-Center Mall, starting on January 6th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, including weekends and holidays.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Charan's Bookstore. For all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charan's Bookstore.
Are you looking for effective and affordable advertising? Look no further. We have what you need. Advertise with us here at Conversations with Zelisa. Don't delay. Call us to advertise on Conversations with Zelisa. We have a range of advertising packages guaranteed to target the audience you need at the most affordable prices. Visit us at our office, Friends Plaza, San Juan, or call or WhatsApp 292-6470. That's 292-6470.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, as we continue to inform, educate, empower. And all those people who are sending requests for the learned attorney's number, I'll be sending it to you after the show, so have no fear. All right, welcome back. Let's go. Morning, the property is joint, we are divorced. If I die, I made a will, life interest, and I named the 2 children. Could my ex-husband claim the entire property when I'm gone, or since I made a will, including the children, be secured? Want to know from the attorney,
the person who sent it said that the property is owned jointly with her partner and they're divorced. So to me, she should have addressed property settlement issues after she filed the divorce, so that that will be settled, because she, as they own jointly, if anything happens to her, it automatically goes to the joint owner by a principle called rights of survivorship. So she needs to address property settlement issues. And she needs to do that, you see, because some people might say do a deed of severance, but she can't turn a blind eye on the fact that property remains matrimonial assets. So whoever is her attorney who did the divorce, she needs to, either go back to the attorney or seek legal advice in that regard.
My mother made a will for a house which she left for my brother and I. He passed away this year. I would like to know if his share belongs to me.
Right. So the fact that she made a will does not mean that the legal issues are settled. If the will was probated and the siblings own jointly, then by a principle called rights of survivorship, it goes to the other sibling. So I don't know if the will was probated, because they just said there was a will and the mother passed away. So that is why I'm urging callers and people sending in messages. You all need to sit and speak to an attorney better. There are questions that needs to be asked before holistic advice is given.
I agree.
So I mean, I could just go so far to say that if it was not probated, the wishes of the person who passed away still need to be fulfilled before the wishes of the estate of the brother comes into effect.
And then if he's married
and also
and
if
has
he left
kids,
a will.
exactly.
Yeah, so these are
things
that we would love to, we don't have the luxury of time to explain, but I mean, it's important to sit and speak to an attorney and not delay.
Understand. I am in possession of a piece of land for over 35 years. There is a person squatting and trying all law dodges to steal my property. They have increased their home size about 2 years ago. I received a letter from the court to remove them. I am afraid to do so because of threats. The letter is still valid. Please, okay, I'll send a number.
I just want to tell that person, by the way, I mean, there'll come a point in time where you have to decide, am I too fearful to bother? Because then you'll reach a point where you're just complaining and not doing anything about it. So I mean, definitely the person needs to address that legally. And if they are the legal title owner, as it seems, and somebody is on the land, if you stay by and you see something happening, there's something in law that says you acquiescence to the situation, meaning you give implied consent because you're not doing anything. And civil matters run for 4 years. So I hope you're within the time frame.
There's so many. Okay, these are for numbers. We've got a couple minutes. 384714 384714. Questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to send your messages. We still have a couple minutes left to entertain any calls.
The procedure with regard to how a will is probated is important. We are running out of time, and if need be, we will expand on another day. But you know, when the person goes to an attorney, the first step is to do a search to see if any will exists that has been registered in the for safekeeping at the probate section. And if it comes back saying application for a search made, no will found, only then you could move on to the second stage, which is to take the original will and apply to process it. In order to apply to process it, you have to file a detailed affidavit, not a simple one to correct a name change, but explaining the relations to the deceased and setting out certain criteria. And then after you prepare the affidavit, you have to set out an inventory, which is you're accounting for whatever is stated in the will, must be in the inventory document so that the value of the estate is known. And then that is filed off in the probate section, and then we await either queries or the grant of probate. So it's a process, which we obviously will expand when we have more time.
Good morning and welcome. Question, please.
Good morning. I'd like to ask the attorney a question, please.
Sure, sure. Go right ahead.
Yes, sure. 4 siblings own one lot of land, and they own it quarter portion each. Now, 2 of the siblings passed away. What is the next stage? Thank you.
Welcome.
Sure. So they own it jointly then, so it's as it seems. So once you see the word joint tenant in the property, in the deed caller, that means the others automatically would own it. However, we must be mindful that during the lifetime of persons, the 2 who were, before they passed away, they could have made a deed of severance. So we don't know if they made a deed of severance so that somebody else could own jointly with the 2 who has survived. So reading the deed is important, and doing any searches in the Ministry of Legal Affairs to see if anything was done against that address stated in the deed that you speak about, that's important. This is a real voluminous topic, Zelisa.
Thank you. I'm in a common law relationship for 5 years. Is my common law husband can claim ownership, or a will is required? Common law.
So that's delving into matrimonial rights. So under the Cohabitational Relationships Act in Trinidad, you must be in a domestic-like relationship for over 5 years. So just be mindful of that in order to claim rights to property. So yes, you could go ahead and leave a will, but in the future, unless you are named as the common law spouse by a court order of the family court, you will eventually, when probating that will, need to apply to the family court to declare that person the common law spouse. So it's a process.
My mom owns a property. She lives downstairs with my mentally sister, younger brother, and now wife with kids. Mom has given brother permission to build upstairs. How can my sister be protected when my mother passed?
Was the mother named in the will? Was the sibling named in the
She
mentally
didn't
ill?
say. She did not say.
If the mentally ill sister was named in the will, well, that speaks for itself because she automatically has rights that could be seen and challenged. However, if not, then something needs to be put in place to take care of the mentally ill sister, whether somebody applies to be her ward or her guardian, to see about her interests, or if a legal document is put in place, be it an agreement or even a will that states that she is to occupy the lower portion of the premises. That needs to be done yesterday to show your wager.
Okay. Let's go. Good morning. Happy New Year. Okay, Happy New Year to you as well. Your closing comments.
I urge members of the public who are viewing this program this morning to, don't think that you have tomorrow and you can make the will next week and stuff. I think it's important to do a will so that, your desires could be fulfilled with regard to these things that you earned or have upon your passing. It's important.
It is important. It is extremely important because the fact is tomorrow is not promised. We do not know. The truth is we work very hard, that is some of us, and in order to accumulate, whether it's property, whatever material things you
in
do,
bank,
or whether or not it was something that was gifted to you, that was passed on to you, it matters. It's important. And it also matters whom you choose, and it is your right. If you choose to give it to a church or a temple or a mosque, that's your right. If you choose to give it to donation, it is your right to do that. It is what you choose to do. Nobody should question or be upset with you for that, right? But it is also your duty and responsibility to put things in place before you pass.
So be
put
wise,
things in place. So be wise, think about it. Be very careful, seek advice. Sometimes we do things without, and because we want to maintain our privacy, and that's fine as well. But it's important to consult and talk and get
even
proper
if they change their mind, you can make another will. Don't procrastinate on that as well.
Because I have seen families just mash up, don't speak to each other, full of animosity, full of hate. For what? Property and money. When you die, you leave it all.
Yes.
Why, is it
live
worth
in
it?
peace
Is
before
it
you rest
worth
in
it
peace.
in the end? It's not. Why live in animosity and hate?
I agree.
When you came from the same womb and you grew up together with the same values, but I mean, you know, it's sad. It's really sad and it's upsetting. But again, everybody's entitled to why they choose to do things, and you respect that. But think, you know, you've got the choice, and that is the beauty. You have the power of choice.
That's really true. Yeah, you can choose how you want to be in life, and you can live in peace before you rest in peace.
So I want to thank you. We'll see you next week.
Of course, please go ahead.
And we continue,
yes,
as we're bombarded with calls and messages.
Yes.
I was just taking notes all the time.
Yes.
So all the people that requested, I will be sending the numbers, office number off to you. I thank you kindly for choosing us. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. Be kind, be good, be courteous, do what is right, be good law-abiding citizens. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Be safe, be happy.